now we're ready to go home and get crunk. Hey guys, so we're gonna get our mise en place together, everything we need to get started. We're gonna need a pot to cook our spaghetti in. We're gonna need an oven-safe dish. I've chosen a pie plate that I got that's red just because it's red and it looks like Valentine's. Then you're gonna need something to strain your spaghetti out with, a pair of heavy tongs, and then we've got all our ingredients we picked up today. We got our Chick-fil-A. We've got our Italian style shredded cheese, tomato, basil, garlic pasta sauce, and we've got our shaved Parmesan cheese. We're getting ready to put this thing together. Party's about to happen up in here. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna preheat our oven. So I'm gonna put this to 425. If you've got a roasting option, I like to use those. Oh, and then before I start getting some comments, also we got some olive oil and a little bit of sea salt for our pasta. All right, then we're just gonna add a little bit of water to our pot. I like to get it about a little over halfway full. Plenty of room for things to happen. All right, so if you're one of those like food purist people, this is probably gonna like aggravate you and maybe even piss you off a little bit. The only thing you need to add to your water to cook pasta is just a little bit of salt. You don't even need that much salt. It is a myth that adding oil to water is somehow going to keep your pasta from sticking. Most of the time, pasta sticks because people don't stir it. But I would say 100% of the time, if you're putting oil in your water to cook pasta, you're wasting your money and you're wasting your oil. Now, it doesn't hurt if you want to do it, but you're actually not getting anything out of it. And I learned that from an authentic Italian chef. So just all you need is a little water, a little salt, get in there, get it done, and you're in the game. All right, so while we're waiting on our pasta water to come to a boil, we're gonna go ahead and put our chicken together. At the end, I am keeping track of the time. I'm gonna give you the time it took to actually do it, which is very minimal. All right, so we got our pie plate here. Now to this, I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil across the bottom, just to keep things from sticking. And then just take a little spoon, spread that out a little bit. And then to that, I'm just gonna get our tomato sauce. Now, you don't wanna like drown this in tomato sauce where it's just tomato sauce for days. So we're just gonna do a little drizzle. And that's about enough to keep the bottom, moist. All right, and into that, we're gonna get out our Chick-fil-A chicken strips. Just gonna lay them out. Now I got 2 4-counts. Now I got 2 4-counts just because if I'm gonna eat chicken Parmesan, I wanna eat enough to eat, you know what I'm saying? But you want them layered in a way where you can get them out. So let's go in 2s. 2, 2, and 2. So we only use 6 of them. But then we can add one more portion to each of them. And I don't know if you've ever ate Chick-fil-A chicken, but it is that's where it's at as far as just taste and flavor for chicken. All right, and into that, we're just gonna add some of our tomato sauce. I always don't try to like completely coat it, like where it's just totally covered and bathed in tomato sauce, because you're gonna want to save just a little bit of this for your spaghetti anyways. Just drizzle that over that. Just enough to give it a good taste. All right, then, once we got that done, we're gonna add on our Italian cheese. So in this you wanna, again, don't cover it up so much that you can't see what it is. If you like extra cheese, kind of pile it in on top like that. And that'll help you have a greater presentation in the long run. When you get to the end of it, it's going to look like something that came out of a restaurant. Alright, our water's boiling, our oven is preheated. We're just going to pop that bad boy in the oven for about 15 or 20 minutes. Going to take him, just pop him right in the oven, center part. See you in about 15 minutes, buddy. Alright, so the way I do it, don't just dump your pasta in there like you're like some kind of like crazy person. You want to make sure you get probably about a third of that package of angel hair. We'll take that, and I like to go ahead and just pop mine in half, turn them one way, turn them the other way, and then we'll just start stirring it. You don't have to constantly stir this, but you're going to have to come back and check on it a few times just to make sure that your pasta is not sticking together. I usually, once it gets going the first time, give it a little stir, wait about 5 or 6 minutes, come back. Alright, so our pasta's come up. I have not stirred it again. People have weird different ways of testing pasta to see if it's done. I always say if you really want to know, pick up a piece and find out. But I can usually tell just by the texture. Like that's angel hair. He's ready. So our strainer's ready. Just going to pour pasta in there. Now then I'm just going to put a little bit of water on my pasta. I always cool my pasta off. The reason for that is once you take it out of the water, this is made out of flour and oil and usually eggs. Some of it has eggs, not all of it. But it basically continues to cook. Even after you take it off the heat, it continues to cook. So you want a little bit of cold water to get in there. It's just going to bring it back down to temperature. Right, and into that, this is where we use our oil. So we're just going to add some olive oil on that. And you can use different kind of oils. Olive oil just has a nice flavor for it. Turn our spaghetti to the pot that we cooked it in, and then we're going to put it on low. Then we're going to add the remainder of our spaghetti sauce, and we're going to serve that with our chicken parmesan. And really all you're doing here is just stirring it up and giving the pasta a chance to heat up a little bit. Alright, so our chicken parmesan's been in there about 10-12 minutes. Let's check on it, see what we got. Oh my goodness, look at there, look at there. Boy, look at there. Just gonna pull that out. Bring that back up to our little prep station. We got one more step. Alright, so then we got our shaved Parmesan. Just gonna put that on there. I always try to do this while it's still hot so that it melts up a little bit, but it's not like too melted, if that makes any sense. It almost like kind of adheres to it, but it's not overly melted. We got our chicken, we got our spaghetti. Now I want to show you how to plate it. Alright, so I'm just going to get in here and just kind of portion this out how I want it. If you just take the edge of a spatula or even a spoon and go across the edge, you'll be able to pull up like a portion how you want it. Look at that. You can serve this with your spaghetti on the side, something like this. But if you do that, just pick it up with your tongs. Don't just throw it on there. Just kind of give it a little turn. And that's just one of those little chef tricks that makes it look sexy. So that's one way to do it. I mean, that's pretty cool. But then on your pasta, you want to add a little bit of your shaved Parmesan. And I always keep fresh basil around. So you could do something like, just take a basil leaf, put it in there. Just to make it look more authentic, like you spent more time on it. And another way to plate it is to take your spaghetti, get a nice twirl on it, And I keep saying spaghetti. Somebody's going to come along and say, the box said angel hair. But to me, spaghetti, linguine, angel hair, vermicelli, it's all spaghetti. You can do something like this and kind of puff it out. And put down a little bit of cheese just for extra delicious goodness. And we can get us a piece of our chicken parmesan. And this one I'm just showing you how you can serve it over spaghetti. And then I said something about showing you how to do if you have some fresh basil leaves, if you grow basil or if you buy it from the store, take it and roll it up like that. And now if you already know how to chop basil, this is not for you. This is a hack. Just take your scissors and see how you get those pretty little chiffonades come through there. And that gives it a lot of, that gives it a little more passion. Makes it look a little more beautiful. Chicken Parmesan hack that anybody can make. I spent $21 in total. And you throw a little salad with this, some garlic bread, and you're in the game. And we all know stories are powerful. I've chosen to share my story on a podcast platform. Look up the Straight Outta Prison podcast. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the Straight Outta Prison podcast. My name is James K. Jones, and this is my story.
And I am Haley Jones, and this is his story that has now become a part of my story.